there guys, and welcome to another quick Kajabi tutorial. My name is Rebecca Austin with 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗏, and on this channel we talk about all things Kajabi, marketing, and growing your online business. Now today I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the latest greatest from Kajabi on some of the new features that they've been working on behind the scenes. And some of these I am so excited about because they are some of the things that you have been asking for quite some time. So let's jump on in and talk about some of the new features that have just been released, and some that are in beta testing, and some that you'll be able to get access to in the very near future. So let's jump on in. The first thing that I want to talk about is that we have, if you haven't gone in already, Kajabi recently released the Kajabi Labs. So if you go into your settings tab, you'll notice that you now have this extra little settings called Labs. And if we click on here, this is where you actually have the ability to turn on and off various new features that they're working on that are still in beta mode, but that gives you the opportunity to experience them before they're officially released. So one of them is the product admin experience. Now this is kind of cool because this is what it looks like, and essentially where you used to have your products were all kind of listed out. So for example, if I were to turn this off and we go back here and just kind of refresh the page, it used to be where it was all laid out, and you could kind of rearrange things a little bit, but other than that, there wasn't a whole lot we could do here. If I go back in and I turn the product admin experience on and we refresh this page, you'll notice that it looks very, very differently, but there's some additional features that we have. So for those of you that have lots of products, we can now then sort our products by various options. So newest, oldest, recently updated. I like to do that one because that means it's the one that I'm working on, will show up at the very beginning. You can sort by members or alphabetically or things like that. And that helps a little bit in organizing your products if you have quite a few. Now the other thing that we have here is our library sorting. So if we click on library sorting, this is where we can drag and rearrange, and it'll show exactly what order that you want these products to show up in your product library, because we want to be strategic on what order your products may be visible in the library based on the importance or in the order, if there's a series of products that go together. And this is where then we can go in and adjust that from a library sorting perspective. So that's a really super handy new feature. They've added it a lot easier to manage your comments is right here. We can search for a specific product, and then of course you can create a new product. So that is the product admin experience. Under marketing, we have the double opt-in form customization. Now this one is super handy because if we go into our forms, if you have an opt-in form that you're going to use the double opt-in, we have two options. We have double opt-in, which is where the contact has to confirm their subscription in email after submitting the form, and that basically is them saying, yes, I really want to be in here. Now why is that important? Well, it's really helpful for things like for bots and spamming, but it's also really helpful, especially those of you internationally, to make sure that we're following our regulations on adding people to our marketing list. So if you're using the double opt-in though, in the past, we had just a generic static email that would go out regardless of every single opt-in form that you sent out. It would send a generic specific opt-in email. We now have the ability, which is super awesome, where you can check this box where we turn this on to send a custom confirmation email that goes out to that person to confirm their email address or their subscription. And then we also have the option to redirect them to a custom confirmation page. So this is then after they confirm, because remember that once they click submit on the form, if you have this going to a custom thank you page, they'll immediately be taken to that page. But They also then, once they confirm their email address, we can set up a specific page that we want it to take them to once they click the confirmation. So that's really helpful to keep that client journey strategic, and that we're keeping them flowing through a specific set of predefined pages or elements that we want them to see to keep them connecting and engaging with us. So this is a super exciting addition on what we have available from that perspective. Facebook pixel enhancements. This is a really cool one for those of you using Facebook ads, so it makes it a lot easier to manage your conversion APIs. We also have a new people page where it looks a little bit different on how it's sorting. So just like the products, if we go into our people tab, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to show people in my list from a security standpoint, but it looks a little bit differently, and it gives us a lot more clean look as far as organizing our list and having various people tab as far as filtering and all of those kind of things. So definitely check that one out and play with that. One of the things that back in the opt-in form is that they've added the reCAPTCHA to the form. So if you're using the single opt-in, so if we decide to go with single opt-in, you want to make sure that you've turned that reCAPTCHA on, because that way it'll add that extra level of security to make sure that you don't end up with a bunch of opt-ins that are not really people. So it takes care of some of the bots and spamming stuff that ends up happening sometimes from trolls and all those lovely things we get to deal with when we have an online business. Okay, and the other one is the adding website pages. And this is going to change the way that it sets up your pages. So if we go under pages and you turn this on, we have then it'll have website, it has landing pages, and it has pipeline pages. So where we used to have standalone pages and pipeline pages, this now gives us another tab where our website pages can show up under pages. So things like your blog, your library, your 404 page, your login page, all of those kind of pages, as well as if you're doing website pages from a sitemap perspective, that we want to make sure we keep everything organized on our sitemap for SEO, as well as things like our standalone static pages like our terms of use page and our cookie policy page and our privacy policy pages. All of those then can be listed here under website pages, and then you can still go under landing pages and pipeline pages to access those pages. So it kind of helps us in keeping things a little bit more organized. We also have a filter option, so we can only look at our published pages or only our system pages, that kind of thing, or if you want to only look at your drafts so that you can see where you are on cleaning up your pages. So it just makes it a lot easier on keeping our website and our back end of Kajabi cleaner, keeping it more organized, and making sure that especially as you grow, and if you're just getting started, it may seem pretty simple, but if you've been doing this for a while and you're adding a lot of pages, it can kind of get a little cumbersome on which pages are live, which pages are still active, what pages need to look a certain way. And one of the things that's really cool about our website pages is if I add a new website page, if I click here, one of the things it does is it automatically sets up, your theme is applied to this page. So whatever theme that you've selected, it automatically puts that theme on that page, as well as the header and footer. So it used to be that when we wanted to create a new page, if we were going to a landing page and you started from just a new page, you had to start from scratch. So you had to select your theme, and then you had to select your, edit your header and footer. And the workaround that, if you've noticed some of my previous videos that we did, was that we would create our own page template, and then we would just clone that page template whenever we wanted to create a new landing page. The benefit of doing it here, of course, is that now we have the ability of creating new website pages that it's automatically set up for us. So our header and our footer will automatically stay the same. So that's a super handy feature just to kind of keep in mind. One thing to keep in mind though, however, is that we do not have the ability yet that I know of that we can clone a website page. So anything that you create under website pages will still only have the options to edit details, copy URL, or modify code. If we go into landing pages, however, if you look at our options, we also have a lot more options. So now we can look at page stats, we can look at exporting this as a theme. We can duplicate or clone it. They used to call clone, now they call it duplicate. So depending on what your strategy is for pages, we definitely want to think about whether it makes more sense for this to be a website page or a landing page. And I'll have another whole video that I'll talk about at some point in the future where I'll go specifically into landing pages versus website pages and what the pros and cons are of each and why you would want to set up a page on one versus the other. So that's just something to kind of think about. The other thing that I'm beta testing right now, which is not in the labs yet, but it'll probably be coming to you very soon, is that they're making some changes to what your design page looks like. So instead of coming where you come up here and it just basically is customized and then choose your theme, it now gives you, when we click on design, it looks a lot different where I can just scroll through and then this is my member directory and this is the announcements page. And this is the blog page, and then if you want to customize that page, then we can just click on it. So it's kind of handy because we can scroll through and we can get a little preview of each one. But then we can, and it shows this one is live, but if we're wanting to play with other themes and we're wanting to look at some other layouts and things like that, it's a much easier where we can either upload a theme or browse a theme and then edit it and see kind of what's going on with this before we set it to live, and then it's a lot easier to activate and set it to live. So it's a lot different on the layout for the website itself. So that's kind of exciting. We still have the preview option, we have the customize option that jumps us into customizing these pages, and then we have our theme where we can choose a theme, and then our site details. So this is kind of cool. The other one that I wanted to share with you that I am really, really excited about, that I'm beta testing, that's coming soon, is in your offers. So if you go into offers, one of the things that a lot of you have been asking for and asking about is limiting a purchase quantity. And yes, this is coming soon, folks. I am so excited about this because I have several of my retainer clients and my coaching clients right now that really have been looking forward to this. So if that's you, I'm so excited to announce this to you, because what we can do now is we can limit the purchase quantity. So say if you're doing, for example, we're putting together a mastermind retreat that's gonna be next January. Stay tuned, I'll tell you more about that. It's gonna be a blast. But we're limiting it to the first 20 people who enroll in the mastermind. So this makes it much easier to manage and shut that off so that we only have a certain block of rooms. We can't oversell it. We can't have it where it's like, oh shoot, do I have to stay up all night and watch the numbers in order to shut this off? You now can set up a quantity limit. And we have the setting that when the limit is reached, what do we want Kajabi to do for us? So just like that countdown timer, that when we set a countdown timer on a page, we can have it redirect to another page or to a wait list when the timer is gone. We now can do the exact same thing on our offers. So once that cap has reached, all we have to do then is set that we want it to go to a landing page or a sold out page or the landing page of your choosing. So you can actually design a specific page, be super strategic, capture that person's name and email address, get them on the wait list, or pre-sell them for the next one, depending on what the circumstance is or what it is that you're selling or you're putting together. So this one, very, very exciting. It's on the horizon, just beta testing this, so I'm kind of excited to sneak preview it for you just a little bit so that you can get a chance to see some of the really cool things that are coming around the corner. So I encourage you to jump on your Kajabi site, take a look at some of these things in the labs, and they're always putting new stuff out there. So you can always go to productupdates.kajabi.com and they'll have their development cycles. So the one that's being announced today is the Toronto development cycle. So I'll be sending another video out to talk about some of the things that they're announcing on the Toronto cycle, and share some of the insights of these new updates as well. But you can always go in and take a look and see what's on the horizon, what are recent developments on what they're putting together for feature updates. So it's super exciting on all of the things that Kajabi is working so hard behind the scenes to continue to improve and to make it better so that it works for all of us of various ways that we're using Kajabi. But, if you're using it for coaching, if you're using it for programs, or if you're using it for events, or if you're using it for all of the different things for selling online knowledge, commerce, and programs. So if you are excited about one of the things that I've talked about today, leave it in the comments below. I want to hear about what are some of the features and the updates that you're most excited about or that you'd like to see at some point in the future, and I'll be sure to pass some of that on to Kajabi. So be sure to let me know. I can't wait to hear about what you think about all these latest, greatest and what Kajabi's working on, and I will keep you informed as I hear more. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so because we do always put out content regularly that are specific to growing your online business using Kajabi. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.